Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Of course, I just dumped my Rockstar because YouTube's framing is considerably different than the framing that I set up originally, so I have to adjust it. And the Rockstar was in the way. So thanks a lot. Nice job, YouTube. Speaking of nice job, let's give a big props out to the $100+ billion company, Facebook, for their ineffectual or yeah, it's ineffectiveness. And so Facebook made this announcement on March 10th that all of your lives, your Facebook lives, will be deleted starting July 8th. They're deleting anything older than 30 days. Okay, that's cool. And they tell you how to, you can go and save all your videos that you want to save, and you can do one at a time. You can do a bulk download, whatever. And then yesterday, the 18th, I get a notification that my video from uh, almost a month ago is going to be deleted on Friday. Did we make it to July already? I don't understand that. So they're starting on July 8th, but they're actually starting on the 20th of March. Maybe you guys want to get your shit together. I mean, I'm just saying, you're a gigantic company with billions of dollars of profits. You might want to maybe put two people in the same room together. I'm just an idea. Call me crazy. Shoot me a message when you guys figure that shit out, because that's not, I mean, come on, there's so much stuff. It's funny just getting wiser. You get older, you get wiser, and you see more stuff throughout your life. And you watch others really struggle with very simple things. And to me, that's like second, third day of computer camp shit. And as someone who did go to computer camp, I know what I'm talking about. It's really disappointing. Um, so maybe cruise over to Apple and see how they're doing. Now, not that they're stellar in any way, but they do operate a little bit smoother than most. So, yeah, maybe check with them. Or, uh, I don't know, anyone? Check with any company, that has more than 4 employees. A mom and pop pizza shop, maybe check in with them, see how they would do it. Um, I don't know. Uh, Wholesale mattress factory, they probably do it better than you guys do. Just just ideas. Um, anyway, tonight I was working on a bunch of. I'm trying to get a multi-camera setup that works very portable, so that I can take it with me to events and to the track and all this other stuff. And working with one piece of software that was kind of working, sort of working, but now has extreme limitations. And talking with people and other stuff, trying to get past some of those limitations or get the software upgraded where it isn't a limitation. And that's been very difficult, but still, I'm still trying. So that sucked up a bunch of my time after dinner tonight. And that's why I didn't, get the Miata off jack stands and get to you folks earlier. I had a whole bunch of stuff I'm trying to get accomplished, and these roadblocks keep getting thrown up in my face, and it sucks. But this is part of when you're trying to do new stuff. This is part of it. So I learned that from the guitar world when I get this beautiful guitar and it has all these incredible features, but the one feature that I kind of wanted, it doesn't do. And so I have to figure out how to do it. Um, so I'm kind of used to that when I don't want to say I'm breaking new ground, but I'm trying to do something different than what most normal people are doing. And it's very funny in this with this software. I would say 99% of the people that use this software are using it for baseball, softball games, or religious services. So I am the very odd person that is not using it for either one of those. Uh, when I go through the posts on the pages, it's baseball, 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 softball, church, 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 synagogue, baseball, softball, everything. It's like being in the car industry and not having an unkept beard. It's very odd. It's odd to be the 1%. I don't mind it, just kind of odd. So yeah, it's another late night, and I'll keep going through the night and trying to get all this stuff done. But I want to bring you guys the cool stuff where I have multiple cameras from multiple different angles, and that way you guys can see actually what I'm doing and not just kind of here. Let me move this out of the way, and you guys can see. It would actually be on it, and we can just switch to it, or it automatically switch to it, and you guys have a much better view. So I'm trying to bring you better visuals for all this stuff. It's a very visual medium, so I'm trying to do that. Uh, a little tiny shop upgrade, and I'll send this out to all of my Harbor Freight friends. So hang on one second. Mhm. Clear the nose and grab a rock star. Yeah. Mm, that's the good stuff. So, my Harbor Freight friends, if you have a light like this, and these are awesome lights. These are the Braun shop lights, whatever. And this is the older version that only has a single joint here. I do have a bunch of the newer versions that have a double joint here, so you can kind of flex it forward and back. But these are great lights, and they have a magnetic base, which is awesome. And believe it or not, I've used this a bunch of times to pick up screws that have fallen down in the engine bays. But these are awesome lights. The one thing that I usually do to these, this plastic tends to break, so I'll usually run some hardcore tape, gaffer's tape, around this end, and I'll also do it up here at the tip. This just the ABS plastic, it tends to break real quick. So a little bit of protection, and these things will last for years. I've had some, I don't know, 5, 8 years. They're $30 regular price. You can catch them on sale for 15, 18 bucks. A lot of times I use them as Christmas presents, stocking stuffers, that sort of thing. They're great. I'll order like 8 at a time. They do have two settings. They have the main bright, the low bright, and then they have the little light at the end. Very handy, very simple. The downside is the battery kind of sucks, and the battery is very basic and very cheap. It is Harbor Freight. Hey, Gabe. Gabe, you probably need one of these working outside. You guys can use these. They do come with old school USB micro, or hey, Liz, they come with the new ones come with USB 3.0 charging. But the downside of these guys is the batteries. The batteries don't last very long. So the bottom unscrews very simply. This is nice aluminum body. It's very strong and robust. I rip off the little waterproof cover here. It just gets in my way when I'm charging. So what comes with it is this, and this is a what is it? An 18650 cell. They're kind of a standard size cell, but these are only 2200 milliamps, and these are not very long lasting. They do the job. They recharge very well, but they're not going to last very long for like in between charges. So I had one of these lights fail. The battery just failed and wouldn't charge anymore. So I went looking around for replacement batteries, and here is what I found. I found these guys. These are 18650s, and these are 5000 milliamps. So this is going to run, in theory, it runs twice as long as the original. It's the exact same size, exact same voltage, all of that, but they should last considerably longer. Screw that in, and now hopefully this light lasts a little bit longer. The cool part is, came with a charger. It was a 4-pack with a charger, and it was about 20 bucks. The charger's not that great, but it gets the job done. It's about 20 bucks, and I have enough batteries in here to do all my lights. So Eventually, I'll swap out the 2200s for all the 5000s. But for now, we're going to test out these 5000s and see how well they work. They just arrived today and they've been charging all day. So I'm going to try it out tonight and see how those guys work. Yeah, Liz, you have two of those. I'll let you know. We'll do a long-term test on that 650 battery. Oh, excuse me, another burp. I'll let you guys know how well it works. There's a lot of stuff out there that is really crap, so we got to be careful. The other stuff, other updates. The guys at the shop are kicking ass. We have awesome rear brakes on the MR6 now. Brian DePaul and Brian Hammond, the Bryans, they've been testing it the last few days. There's been nice weather in Ohio, so they've been able to get the car out. And DePaul is very, very happy with our modification to the MR6. The car remains extremely flat through heavy braking. You can still lock it up, but it with any good fortune, we're not going to be whipping the ass end around when under heavy braking and getting back on the gas. So hopefully we have a much more balanced car. He showed the scales last night. We are definitely balanced left to right with the driver in there, which is really great. A balanced left-right car is very helpful. We are still ass heavy, but that's because the engine's in the back. So that's how that works. It's going to be a really, really great track car, and we've dialed in so much stuff. So hopefully we have an awesome race in Pittsburgh. The other Lemons car, the Monza, is going to be a complete and total shakedown, test bed, find out what we like, find out what we don't like. This car hasn't been at Lemons for more than 2 years, maybe 3 years. And we're getting a bunch of the stuff updated. Hammond got the fire suppression system out last night, so that's getting shipped out to get recertified. And then we just need harnesses for it and a battery, the main power kill, to be hooked up. And that car's pretty much ready to go. And graphics for it. We don't have any graphics for it. We have ideas for graphics, but we don't have any graphics. And so the Lemons cars are in very, very good shape. We're still trying to figure out drivers. We have like 5.5 drivers right now. We're hoping for 8. So I'm sorry, we have 6.5 drivers right now. We're hoping for 8. So I'm going to get on the push and see what happens. If we only end up with 5 drivers, then we'll just run the MR6. It's a little less track time for everyone, but it'll be a lot cheaper. If we run 2 cars, we get a lot more track time, but it'd be more expensive. Let's see who's here. Hey, Denise. Hi. Denise knows about Lemons. She was at Road Atlanta with us, and she's seen the MR6 in action. So she knows how well that car runs. Who's the half drive? The half drive is one of our friends who is in an equestrian competition, and she has the quarterfinals for the nationals the weekend before the Lemons race. So if their team succeeds, they go to nationals, which is the following weekend, which is the weekend of the Lemons race. If they do not qualify, or if they don't get past the quarterfinals, then she'll be available for the following weekend. So that's our half driver there. One of my friends, one of my very, very good friends, who is just a massive driver, is I'm really hoping to hear from him. He's gone through a ton in the last couple of years, and I really want to get him back, helmet on, strapped into a car, ripping around the track. He loves pit race. He's a fantastic driver. I trust him in any of my vehicles. So that's when I'm hoping I get that phone call. That's the good last minute phone call. That one, I'd be like, no, man, you can have my seat. That's how important that one is to me. So I'm hoping that I get that phone call, 2 days before we leave. Hey, man, is there still a seat open? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So I'm really hoping for that call. The The lemon stuff is pretty much set. We've got a lot of the logistics down. We do have to book hotel rooms, but that'll be pretty simple. Yeah, yeah, Denise, it'd be awesome if this guy could, come in and whip down some awesome laps. Um, I actually want him to beat my record at pit race, so I want him to have the fastest AW11 lap at pit race. Um, what else we got? Lemons is like I said, Lemons is all set. We've got this weekend. We have an event in Tampa with the Viper guys and gals. Not being misogynist here. The A bunch of the Viper owners are getting together for. I think it's like a Friday night, all day Saturday, or it's a all day Saturday into Saturday night event. And I'm going to be leaving very early Saturday morning to go meet those guys in Tampa. And it's about an hour and a half drive for me, hour and 40. So I'll have I'll have pictures and videos from that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the pictures from the auction. The auction went to on Friday at Punta Gorda. Really, really, some really cool cars there. I put those up on social media earlier. Very, very cool cars. Um, did I have a favorite? I don't know. I had about six of them. They were great. Uh, Probably the '57 Bonneville convertible was up there, and there was a the Pro Street Mustang '67 Mustang was beautiful as well with the big blown 427 CJ. That's just a cool car. And then I don't know, this sounds so weird coming from a guy with this 1929 Cadillac sedan. It was really, really cool. It was very well done. A lot of modern upgrades, but still keeping it traditional. It was really cool looking car. I don't know how much fun it'd be to drive, but it's just cool to see how far we've come since the 20s, early 30s. Um, Also saw a Pontiac T37, which I've only read about these things. I've never seen one in person, so that was very cool to see that in person. And my friend Doc today said that they did not come with the 455, and Doc knows cars. So if Doc says it, I'm going with that until someone says otherwise. But I thought they came with the 455. I can't remember what other Pontiac engine they would have come with. So um, possibly the 327. I don't know. Um, but it's a very rare option package, very rare production car. So I'd never seen one in person. That was cool to see in person. A lot of weird stuff there. Uh, the Florida Man, Dodge Ram, the Batmobile golf cart. Um, there's a lot of weird stuff. Usually, you see odd stuff at auctions, and people are trying to get rid of it. But this one was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. I did not bid on anything. If I bid on anything there, probably would have been I don't know. The '57 Chevy Nomad was beautiful, but I'm sure that went for $400,000. It was a beautiful car, very very nice build. Um, I can go back. I can probably go back and look at prices, but there were some really nice cars there, and then there were some shit boxes there. So yeah. What are people saying here? Yeah, hopefully I get that call. Yeah, yeah. The thing. Oh, Berg took a bunch of pictures. There were two VW things there, and Berg loves those things. No pun intended, or pun intended, however you want to look at it. Berger loves those things, so he got a bunch of pictures of those. And then it was so funny. He asked me, "Are these all manual?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. All things are manual." I don't think I've ever seen an automatic VW thing. Definitely not factory, maybe aftermarket, but as far as I know, they are all manual. So yeah, I don't think they ever came with an automatic transmission. I'd definitely have to look that up. Um, Berg likes a lot of stuff until it's actually time to drive it, and then he's like, "No, I don't want this." Everything's cool for everyone else except for him. Yeah, but we had a good time, and there's always fun, mocking stuff that. Um, and God, the Corvette guys make it so easy. They really do. They try to make their C4, their C5, or C6, or C7, or C8 far more exclusive than it actually is. Just so you guys have a reference, when you see these guys with they call them boomer boards. When you see these guys with boards or window stickers or whatever, and it says one of one or one of 12, just to give you a reference to not to counter that, but just to start off with, they make on average 30,000 Corvettes a year. So think about that for a second. You have 52 weeks. They're doing just under, they're doing about 700, 750 a week. So when they say it's one of two or one of five or one of 12, just remember that they do about 750 a week. Just take that however you want. Um, that was fun at Punta Gorda. We have the Viper event. I found out a couple of my friends are not going to be able to make it, which sucks. I haven't seen them in a while. We also have Tail of the Dragon coming up. This thing needs new tires before Tail of the Dragon. So we will be doing I think we're going to be doing the Continentals. We're going to look around. Still not a fan of the Michelins, even though that's what's on there now. I still have the Sport Cups on there, and I'm okay with them. I know there's way better out there. And if worse comes to worse, I'll take the Miata. It's beautiful weather up there, and those roads are perfect for the Miata. They're great for this, but the Miata is another winner up at Tail of the Dragon and Foothills Parkway and Cherry Skyway, Devil's Triangle, all the roads up there. You're not, if you take the Miata, you're gonna have a good time. If you take the Viper, you're gonna have a good time. Take the Grom, you're gonna have fun. So uh, definitely cool roads, and definitely a good time with a lot of cool people. The Viper guys we have a ton of fun up there. So hopefully I catch up with my Florida Viper friends before Tail of the Dragon. That's what I'm really hoping to do. And I'll see a bunch of them on Saturday, which will be really nice. And then just to go back to the lemon stuff, I will be back in Ohio, I believe the first week of March. If not the first week of March, then the very beginning of the second week of March, like Sunday or Monday, second week of March. And I'll be doing a lot of lives from the shop over there with the Lemons cars, the Monza. And like I said, I haven't seen the Monza in person, so I need to go through that car. What the Bryans see and what I see are two very different things. So I'm definitely going to check and make sure that those guys are seeing the same things that I'm seeing. But those guys have been awesome up at the shop. Hammond's been doing a ton of clean out. He's boxing stuff up, and then it's like for sale. Put this up for sale. Put this up for sale. So he's been very very helpful with that, because I put it in a box and put it away. I'm like, yeah, I'll get it up for sale someday. And then I always get into another project or get into something deep, and so for him to go through there and rip all that stuff out and say, all right, for sale, for sale, for sale, and that's really helpful. Clears up a lot of space in the shop. Uh, what else? He found a whole bunch of tubes of old caulk, and yeah, I'm just gonna say caulk a whole bunch because that's what it is. CAULK. But yeah, so he found a whole bunch of caulk, and he's going to take care of that caulk for me. That's all I've got. I have 11,000 jokes, but I can't say them on YouTube. There was white caulk, there was black caulk, there was clear caulk, there was almond. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff. So thankfully he's okay with grabbing those and taking care of him for me. That was very nice. I didn't have to touch him. That was nice. Um, again, I can do 600 jokes just on like 8 tubes of dried up sealant in my shop. What else we got? I think that is about it. Um, yeah, I really want to. I really want to get the multi-camera setup going here in the shop and also at my shop. I want it portable so that we can take it to the track. We can do it here in the shop, in the backyard with the limo when it gets here, and in the Viper, and when we're at Tail of the Dragon. I need that portability. So once we get to that portability status, with that portability setup, I'll be doing a lot more stuff with multi-camera, and not just two cameras. I mean like three or four, 16 if I can. So trying to get that going would be really cool. Yeah, Gabe. Usually you use rubber gloves when you're handling cock. At least I do, just because I know that shit's gonna go everywhere. That's how it works. Um, again, 7,244 jokes about it, like right off the bat. And you guys are awesome, so I appreciate you guys putting up with it. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of current where we are. So, just quick recap. Lemon's coming along nicely. Miata is going to be on the blocks tomorrow. I'm doing a whole bunch of tech stuff, and I didn't get the Miata off the blocks or off the jack stands. And then Viper event on Saturday, and the Harbor Freight batteries. I showed you guys that. So um, I will let you know. I'll do as much testing as I can, and I'll get you guys regular updates on the 18650s, the 500 milliamp ones, and see if they last longer. We'll give them a try. At the very least, I have older Harbor Freight lights that work, because the batteries pretty much, unless you, I mean, these things are pretty strong, but unless you're dropping them or throwing them on concrete or whatever, they're pretty strong. So the battery is going to be the main thing that fails in these. And oh, this little cob light has oh, he's got a little black speck on him. What? Oh, poor little cob light. It's probably from when they put the plastic on here. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I think that's about it. No real new kick-ass tools. Everything is, I'm pretty set on everything. It's a lot of supplies stuff. So, sealants and duct tape and rivets and stuff like that. Those are the things that are eventually going to fill this toolbox. Um, I'm pretty much set on everything else. And also, the summer coming around, we're going to be doing a lot more motorcycle riding. So we might actually have some motorcycle maintenance stuff here. Uh, Oil changes, gearbox changes, spark plugs, that sort of thing. I think that's about it. Air hose. Since I got the air compressor here, we'll eventually have the air hose hooked up as well. Here's the reason why the air hose isn't hooked up. I need to move the Miata so that I can get the ladder down to go up to the attic to run the air line across the ceiling and over between the two garage doors. So once the Miata's out of the way, I can pull that door down and get up into the attic, pull the line. I have the hose. I'm here. I'll show you guys. Like, I have everything. I have the hose. It's all ready to go. This is 100 feet of hose that goes across the, oh, sorry. This is 100 feet of hose that goes across the ceiling. And this hooks right into the hose reel, which goes right there. The problem is I can't get up there. So I have the damn Miata in the way. So we'll have air in here really soon, which is really helpful, especially, not only air tools, but also keeping air in tires and things like that. And definitely for cleaning. I love using air to clean stuff out, especially engine bays, stuff like that. So Smaller shop projects, but mostly car stuff. And with any good fortune, the limo is going to be here right after we finish lemons. So we'll finish the lemons race. Then the limo arrives a few days later. I'm trying to get logistics on that. Then we get really, really deep into the limo and get that thing 100% and start cruising it around Southwest Florida and Tampa and Sarasota and maybe take it over to Miami. That'd be fun. So lots of stuff coming up, but I apologize with you guys. I want to get the technical stuff worked out. And if you see a notification here and I'm only on for 60 seconds or 3 minutes or whatever, I apologize because I'll delete that garbage. It'll just be a test to see if this stuff is working, if audio is working, and the cameras and the tracking and all that stuff. So if you guys do see stuff pop up, I apologize. I'm trying to limit it. I'm trying to do it without going live. But if it does pop up, I don't mean to annoy you with 5 pop-ups in an hour. Or 5 notifications in an hour. I'm trying to get this stuff right for you guys. So what do we got here? We got messages. Definitely, yeah. Definitely need protection with any cock, white cock, black cock. Yeah. What was the spray you put on rust in place of grinding off all the rust before applying TBL? You can use what's called rust reformer. Hang on, I might actually still have some. Yeah. Well, this is different, but it's basically the same thing. The Rust-Oleum stuff is called Rust Reformer, and this is from Duplicolor, and this is called Rust Fix. This is my backup if I run out of Rust Reformer, like I have. So it's something like this. It's Rust Fix or Rust Reformer. What it does, it's a chemical reaction, and it changes oxidized metal into a material called magnetite. Magnetite can then be primered, painted, whatever. Magnetite sort of removes the oxygen from the equation. That's when I say it changes the chemical composition of the metal. It changes it to a different type of metal, and it's kind of confusing how it works. But that's the point behind things like Corroseal and this stuff. Is it's designed to change the chemical composition of the metal, just the surface though, not like all the way through, but the surface of the metal so that it can be primered, painted, welded, whatever it is. And so they change it to what's called magnetite, which is what they do. They removes the oxygen from that surface layer, and then you can, kind of start over with fresh material. Best thing to do, obviously, is to grind it, brush it, whatever, get all the rust off of there. That oxidation is deadly, and it never sleeps. It keeps going. You think you got it all, and it'll just show up further down the line. So you can use that. That is a very quick fix, and it does work, but it is a temporary thing. It maybe lasts 5 years. So if you want something more durable and more thorough, definitely grind it down to bare metal, brush it down to bare metal, whatever it is. Then you can weld on it and you can do that stuff. A little off topic. Do you want to sell the RG Egypt? I'm getting back pay from my union. Gabe, that's another thing I've been working on is editing the videos for all the guitars that are going up for sale. The Egypt will go up for sale. And even though you're one of my best friends in the whole world, I'm going to offer it on eBay. As far as I know, it's going to be eBay or Reverb, depending on whose fees are less screwy. And that way it kind of gives everyone a chance with the guitars. I don't want to play favorites. I've already deemed a couple of guitars. This is just Karma. I gave one to a very good friend's son for his birthday, and he wants to learn how to play guitar, and apparently he's having a good time with it. And then another friend of mine, a guitar I bought from him 12 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe longer, I'm selling back to him. That was part of the deal when I originally bought the guitar, so I'm making good on that deal. And then uh, that's kind of it. The rest of the stuff is going to be the videos will go up, and then shortly thereafter, the guitars will go up for sale. They'll be on Reverb or eBay. Yeah, yeah. By the way, you guys want a fun fact? Average. Now, the average monthly payout. This is the middle for OnlyFans is $453 a month. So if you are average, you're getting less than 5 grand a year. That's the average payout. Um, yeah, yeah. It sounds really good in theory, but it actually doesn't pay very well, and that's the average. So yeah, Shane, you know the guitar, or Gabe, you know the guitar. It's Shane Regal, and it's the JPM, the Burgundy JPM. So Shane's one of the good guys. Absolutely, Gabe knows what a monster player Shane is, and this was something I talked to Shane about a couple of years, I guess a year ago, when I decided I was going to sell all the stuff. And I, Shane contacted me when I posted that, and it was just a reminder, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I have no problem doing that, and straight across, So he doesn't lose any money. I don't lose any money. I just stored his guitar for a dozen years. So, and it is a great guitar, a great guitar. So, by the way, if you're looking for, and we had this discussion on a bunch of the guitar forums, if and pages and all that stuff. If you're looking for $1,000 guitar that plays like $1,000 guitar, Ernie Ball Music Man. Yeah, that's now it's probably a $2,000 guitar, but at the time, because there's a lot of guitars that are $1,000 that play like $200 guitars, and there's a lot of $400 guitars that play like $1,000 guitars. So if you're looking for something that's $1,000 and plays like $1,000, there's two: Ernie Ball Music Man, uh, American Standard Strat. Those two. You absolutely, you're not getting you're not getting gypped in any way. So yeah. If your friends are looking for guitar stuff, you guys know that I do that that's on that's on the other side of my life. Not this side. That's the other side. So thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I wish there was a lot more super technical stuff and problem solving and all of this, but again, I'm trying to do the problem solving so that I bring you guys cooler stuff when I do that. Um, that's the fun for me, is trying to do the nicer quality stuff and do something original that a lot of people aren't doing, and keeping it straightforward, keeping it honest, and making sure you guys get kind of what you're looking for. People obviously like it, which is great, and I appreciate that. All the subscribers, you guys are awesome, and that just tells me that people like it and they like what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep doing it. I want to make it a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, and a little bit just to show more. The more cameras you have, the more you're going to show. So working on it, working on it as quick as I can. Let's see. Seth Shop Guitar. Yeah, and sometimes there are those $250 guitars that you can just throw in the back of a truck. It's fine for the drive home. Whatever. There's definitely anomalies out there. Definitely. Yeah, Gabe, I'll show you the new version of that light. I have it right here. So this is the new version. So if you look at the old version versus the new version, I'll do them side by side like this. And you can see it has the extra articulation here. So this guy can not only fold that way, but he can do that too. So you can kind of go around corners. Sorry, whichever way. Um, these are the old style, and these have the micro USB charge. These are the new style, and they have the USB 3.0 charge. And they have a little sticker on the bottom that is not, doesn't really stay put when you, there we go, that's a little bit better. These guys, I don't think, there might have been a sticker on the bottom of that, but they do work great for dropping down and grabbing screws that are got dropped in the engine bay. They'll definitely pick it up. But these guys are the same thing, and they have a little light at the end. This is the new version. This is the older version, but they use the same batteries, same 2200 milliamp batteries. So we'll try it in this version as well. And I'll keep you guys updated on that. So yeah, they're really bright. The other thing that I use in the shop pretty much all the time are these. These are the headband lamps, and they just have a little controller on the side. Again, USB 3.0 charge, and they last for a few hours, and these are stupid simple. And the best part is they leave your hands free, and they're gonna put light wherever your eyes go. So I'll turn to the side, or I'll just do it. I'll do it to the side, so I don't blow you guys out. So now I don't know where the buttons are. Okay. Okay, so I'll do the buttons in front. So there's power, and then you have a second one, which is a lower power. And you have a third one, which is this little light on the side. It's a little more focused. And then he's a low for that little light, and then he's off. So now if you put it on this and then you hit this button, now you can turn it on and off with just it just has an IR sensor right there. So you can turn on and off. So if you're doing something and you need the light off, you need it on, you don't actually have to touch anything. So these things are great. They're about 30 bucks, 35 bucks for a pair of them. Very soft, very flexible, and it's nice to have both hands free. Like I said, it goes on, comes right off. It's really nice to have both hands free. I don't know what is going on. My hair just doesn't like being on camera. So yeah, these are awesome, and they're super lightweight, super portable. You can wear them for hours. Battery doesn't last all that long, and you can't change it out as far as I know. I'm sure I could figure out a way to change out batteries, but they do last a good long time. And usually you get them in pairs. So grab a pair of these guys, and I have a couple of these at the shop in Ohio, and I have a couple down here. These are great, very durable, and just enough light and it's always where you're looking. So it's never like off to the side and you're like, hopefully the shadow, I can look around. It's not like that. It's exactly where you're looking. So yeah, yep. Yeah. You'll bang your head before you bang the light, which is great. And sometimes, like I've noticed this too, when you're working on stuff, you'll have the light will be right here, and you're like, well, now I can't where you're looking. That's the only way you can mount it, and now you can't see anything. So you're like, shit. Or even worse, your hands in the way of where you're trying to do it. So yeah, that's why the headlamp one is great, because it's not going to be in my way. I have, it might block, my hands might block a little bit, but I'm going to have it from whatever side. So the headlamp one is really great. The other ones I use mainly for kind of overhead, like overview stuff. Yeah. Um, so cool tools. Like I said, air compressor's coming, and Miata's coming down. Vipers this weekend. Lemons is all set. And I didn't make a list for this, like I do with Facebook and Instagram. I have a little outline of the stuff I'm going to talk about, but um, for this I didn't, just because I want to let you guys know that I was working on the technical stuff. Miata's coming off the jack stands. Viper event this weekend. I just put those in my head and went. But I think I got you guys updated sufficiently, hopefully. And We'll do the Miata coming off the jack stands tomorrow. I um, I'm gonna work more on. Well, I got to work on that Facebook thing with getting all my videos down because that's going to be terabytes and terabytes of data. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And then trying to get these cameras going for you guys so that you can see, a lot better. The other thing I could finish is that hardtop on the Miata. Get some clear coat on that thing, right? The reason I haven't done that is because it's either been raining or cold. So doing that stuff outside is a little hard to do when it's raining or cold. So we'll get that thing Miata hardtop looking nice, and it'll have it nice and shiny like this car. Um, yeah, Liz, the ones that go all the way across the hood are okay for kind of doing overview stuff. Most of the stuff I do is going to be very precise. I'll want light in a very specific place. But sometimes you're working on a larger area, like if you're doing headers or an intake or something, and you just need that whole area covered in light. That's where the hood ones are good. So not a bad way to go. As long as you have light, that's the big part. Don't do stuff in the dark, and don't do it behind your head, guessing if you're going the right way. So yeah, thanks you guys for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Gabe. I will. I'll talk to you soon. Um, and thanks to everyone who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit the button. I appreciate it. Like I said, I love seeing those emails when YouTube sends me, "Hey, you have a new subscriber." Those are always awesome. Tell your friends. Like I said, we'll do a lot more Miata stuff, a lot more Viper stuff, and a lot more racing stuff. So it's not going to stop. And pretty soon we'll have limo stuff too, which would be great. I hope you guys like that limo stuff. It's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's fun. So uh, yeah, that's it for tonight. Don't forget to show someone that you love them. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will catch you. Maybe we do an early one tomorrow with the Miata. You guys want an early one? Okay, let's do an early one tomorrow. It's Thursday. Do it early. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will catch you soon.